Hello guys, welcome back to our channel RK Data Labs, and today we are going to see our latest and new series we have started, Python programming language. So we are into day number 2 of this series, and today we are going to discuss three important topics in Python: comments, data types and variables. Okay, let me start with comments first of all. So comments, what it is? So comments are basically used to explain what is a code is basically written for. So just to ensure that if somebody is writing a code, if somebody is coming new to the project, or even an existing programmer or developer is just reading the code, he want to understand what is this Python code has been written for. So how you can explain? You can either explain orally, or simple in terms, you can just write a comment stating that this code has been written for this so and so purpose. So for that, you can easily explain to other people by using a comment. So comments basically used to make the code more readable in terms of understanding the code for what it is being written for. There are two types of comments available. One is single line comment and multiple lines comment. So now if you go to IDE which we have created, before that let me tell you like couple of interesting stuffs here. So there is a right top side that you can able to see one theme. So where you can see like couple of things, like you have like Dracula and couple of things. Let me go here, and there are like couple of themes are available. Let's say high contrast, you can see high contrast theme is available. This is just a background where you can enable it according to your visualization. So IntelliJ Light, it will be a pure white background, and if you see Dracula, it is this light gray portion of background will be enabled. And one more thing I would like to tell you, go to settings, there's under appearance. So this theme will be enabled by default, Dracula and all those stuffs. And also if you want to have much more zoomer, so you can even put, let's say 125%, or even higher than that you can still put. So for our explanation purpose, I've just make sure that I'm using 125% of zoom. So these are all things that you can just go ahead and explore in your IDE in your local machine. Now I'm going to simply create a Python file. How do I do? Right click, new Python file. So I'm going to give day 02 test. So make sure that you are enabling by default Python file. Just simply creating it, it will create a .py extension Python file. Now what we are going to do, as we discussed just now, comments. So comment, how do you do? Just put a hash, that's it. So this is nothing but just to tell that basically explaining about like what is the code and everything. So basically a comment should be starting with a hash character, which means it is nothing but a comment. If you want to have multiple line comment, even in sometimes if the comment to be have multiple lines, let's say we don't have a single line, we want to ensure that we are not giving hash. How do I give? Try to give 3, enter, and it will automatically come. Alright, so this is nothing but a multi-line comment. So this comment can also be written in any program that you can do. So this is to ensure that if you have multiple line, you don't have any option to have only single comment, you can have it in your code. Okay, now how do you send your output to terminal? Basically it is simple, just use the word called print. So I'm going to print here, print 100. So I want to ensure that 100 has been printed in my terminal output. How do I do? Just right click. There are two ways. One is to just execute using run option, you can able to get this 100. And the second option is there is a icon available at the top menu, you can just simply click it. Okay, I'm just trying to increase the value. I'm just simply running it, and it will just simply gives you the value. So these are all like good stuffs that you can still do. And in addition to that, so I want to explain you a couple of things. One is variables. Let me go to the PPT. So where we have to see the next variables. So basically variables are nothing but it is just a place where you can store all the data values. So in any programming language that you take, maybe a Java or Scala or VB or anything, always it is mandatory to include the data type before declaring a variable. Like let's say int x equal to float y equal to, like that. In Python, you don't want to worry anything about that. You just simply have one field name, nothing but variable, and then followed by equals to, and then followed by the value. You don't want to mention int, string, char, float, or anything, etc. This is so simple, guys. Let me take you to the video here. Let's say name. If you want to make it as a string, just ensure that you are having a double quotes. If you want to have a number, let's say 10. So what I am assuming is name is the field or variable name which is assigned to a value called Rajesh here in this example. So now what I should do, I want to print name and I want to print number. So what I will be doing, simple. So what I should do now, after assigning this variable and then using this in print statement, I want to send the output to the terminal. Simple. Right click, run it. You can able to see the two outputs that you are getting it, right? So Rajesh and 10. So which is nothing but the value assigned to the variable called name and number. So now what if I have two different variables assigned to it, right? So let's say first name Kanna. Okay, let me give a space. Always ensure that, as I said before, whenever a string to be given to a value to a variable, please ensure that you are having a double quotes. If you are declaring a value as an integer, you don't want to assign it as a single quotes or double quotes. Even if you say, maybe I can even give as single quotes as well, that is also possible. I will just try here with single quotes as well for our testing purpose. Now I have two different variables. One is a name, that is first name and last name, and the other one is a length and width, that is nothing but assigned to a number. So what I should be doing is, I can just simply get these two, right? So I can put, this is the format of how you can get this values. Alright, so now plus, use this plus operator, last name, that's it. So this f is nothing but, I want to tell you, f is nothing but formatting. So without giving this formatting, this will not take the values coming from these variables in line number 11 and 12 accordingly. Okay, so now again I want to take this, okay, single quotes and length, total size of, put a double quotes, length into width, that's it. These operators, plus or into or hash or modulus or division or anything that you can put, that is up to us to decide. Okay, so now what should be, we will be getting here in the output is, full name is, we should get the sum of these two variables declared, and then we need to get the second output with multiplied by length and width. So what will be getting it? That's it, guys. Simple, right? Full name is Rajesh and Kanna, total size of 200. Now assuming that I want to have a space in between, so what I should do? Simple, have a double quotes, give a space, and then add a plus. That's it. You can able to get the two different variables including a space in between. So this is so simple, right? Again, I want to also tell you one thing about like what is variables here. So I will go here. Variables, there are, as I said before, multiple variables, and how data types are associated with variables. As like before, or any programming language that you take, I discussed with you, string should be treated in double quotes or either single quote. Number should be treated without a single quote or double quote followed by equal to symbol. And then there are third thing, float. Float, always ensure that you are giving a decimal point. If you see here price equal to 25.5, you are having a float. And then followed by boolean. Boolean is nothing but it is just a flag operator where you will have default predefined values called either true or false. It is something like boolean logic, like a kind of logical operation. If something is valid, go set it to true, or else the other way around, set it to false. So likewise, we can just, let's say like you have only two values the output will contain, either it can be a true or false, or you don't see any other than these two values or output, you can just simply set it to either true or false and set this as a boolean. So now what I'm going to do here, I want to include one more thing. Let me take price equal to 12.25. okay, so this is nothing but one example for float, and my ball equal to, I want to just simply type true, it will give you a couple of combinations or options, either it will give true, or if I type F, just give it as false. So now I'm going to click on true. So this is nothing but the example for line number 17, it's a float operation, and then for line number 18 it is either giving a true or false. Okay, so now I can still include F false. Okay, so how should I ensure that these variables declared, either it falls under what type of data type? I don't know anything. As a developer, we will know what the data type is, but as a new or fresher, he will not understand what is the data type, right? So I can simply give, or I can simply understand how it can be given using this operator called type. So I can just print price, just include type of, and then followed by the variable name. That's it. So I'm going to run this code. That's it. So now if you can able to see here, you can still able to understand what is the data type associated for the variables price. Price is for float, and the second my ball, it is for true, right? It is a boolean data type, and then my ball 2, it is for again a boolean type. That's why it is telling like it falls under data type called boolean. So likewise, you can do n number of things in your practice day to day regularly, guys. So fundamentally, you want to know like what is the comment and what are the single line comment, multiple line comment. As I said before, these will be very helpful in terms of understanding what is the code we have been written. Let's say like you have 1000 lines of code, you will not understand what the program is being written for. So how should I ensure that the code is for what purpose you have been written? You can just simply give a one line comment stating that the code is written for this purpose. For what? This single line comment will be very useful. And then followed by all these things, you can have couple of variables, whatever I have explained, and also associated with any one of the data type. Either it can be int, string, float, boolean, or etc. So these things today we have covered exclusively. So I want you to also practice this in your local machine in day number 2 of this Python training regularly. So in my next video, I'll be explaining you like arithmetic operations and string operations exclusively, guys. Stay tuned, watch these videos regularly. If you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys, we'll meet you soon.